Welcome everybody here this morning at the International Cargo Bike Festival. We more or less do a official opening, and I'm very glad that Micha Mos of the municipality of Amsterdam will do a short opening speech, and then I will also give him the first volume of our new ICBF magazine, which is called Carrier, which we are very proud of. But please, first, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jos. Hi, everyone. I'm Micha Mos. I'm the City District Alderman of the City Centre of Amsterdam, with mobility and portfolio, among others. I'll be erring and umming a bit because I just realized that this was supposed to be a speech in English, of course, and I'm reading from Dutch. So I'm going to have to think on my feet a little bit, and we'll see if I can do that. Earlier, yesterday, I was given a preview of this new issue of Carrier, in which I read that one of your formulated targets is that at the end of this decade, the decade of the cargo bike, of course, transport by bike will be mainstream. And that is music to my ears, of course. It's a very positive development on many fronts in Amsterdam and mainly in the city center because of the historic city structure with all of its quays and bridges. We are forced to look for more compact and more light forms of transport. All to just really disable the heavy, large volumes of freight going through our city center, really demolishing the city. But it's also, of course, a question of air quality and living standards, in which we also are very much looking forward to a transition to transport by bike. Now, that's a long and steady process, which asks for several ingredients, such as, for instance, a forcing government, trying to force innovation, trying to force transition. And on the other hand, is asking the market to start innovative ideas within our society. When I see 60 initiatives represented here, that gives me a lot of hope. Now, you asked me the question when we talked before, Jos, is Amsterdam the carrier bike capital of the world? I don't know whether it is. I'll leave that the conclusion to you. But I believe it is it is a bike capital of the world, obviously, and it's really progressing towards being one of the carrier bikes capitals of the world because of the growth of the instrument. We see healthy, non-emission forms of mobility rising in the capital, and that's really something that we're looking forward to seeing even more. The accessibility of the form is a great inspiration for our population. In a freight industry way, but also for just people living and working here. As a municipality, we know relatively little about the use of cargo bikes in the sense of numbers. We had a small sample earlier this year in which it turned out that 1.5 of passing bikes is a cargo freight bike. The largest number of that was either meal or food delivery, which is some 84%, 7% is parcel delivery, but 10%, maybe even the most important part, is building logistics. And that, I think, we'll see more and more of in the future. And it is an excellent development, which I'm very happy to see. The Institute of the Hogeschool van Amsterdam made a future prognosis for light electric freight vehicles, which includes cargo bikes. And they estimate that these light vehicles have the potential to replace 10 to up to 15% of all freight car deliveries within cities. And just so you can feel how much that is, that's 35,000 freight cars a day within the A10 highway of Amsterdam. That's huge numbers. If we can replace just a fraction of that, it would be great. And 10 to 15% would be even better. There are worries, though, and I chalk that up to what we in Dutch call the law of the handicap of the head start, or the first mover disadvantage. We have a city which is, beside, of course, its medieval city structure, already geared towards personal bike use up to a certain speed. So we can see that cargo bikes poses with new questions to ask the city. How do we make sure that higher speeds, but also larger freight is adapted into our city structure? As we can see, for instance, in the article Refining My Balance in this new issue of Carrier, someone was forced into really adapting her way of getting around cities and life in general because of an accident she had in traffic. And a cargo bike can also be an answer to that. But the challenges she faced, as in the city lanes which were not adapted towards trikes as she drove, will really pose us to reinvent the city for trikes, for cargo bikes, and for freight bikes. There's a lot to do in that decade of the cargo bike which we are now entering, but it's a challenge I'm really looking forward to, and I hope to address these questions with you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for these nice words. And now, well, I want to make one remark, because you mentioned the study by the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences. I was part of the research, and the 10 and 50% that we said then was even without thinking of service logistics.
Oh wow!
And that's really actually the highest percentage that's going.
So you're thinking that estimate could be a lot higher even today?
It could even be much more higher.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know if everybody agrees, but I think it will. And now I would like to hand over to you the first edition of our new ICBF magazine, which is renamed to Carrier. You already had the opportunity to read it online, but please have the real volume here now. And thank you very much.
Thank you. I read it with great pleasure the last 2 days, and it's very nice to have a physical example in my hands. Thank you.
You're welcome. And for everybody, of course, we have the magazine is out now, and they are here. So grab a volume and enjoy reading it. And of course, enjoy the day here, or the 3 days here. We will have a large program with other speakers here, and also, of course, to look at the cargo bikes, to ride the cargo bikes. That's what it's all about. Have fun. Thank you.